All right, football fans, are you ready for another deep dive?
Always.
Today, we're looking at the career of a rising star, a player you might not know as well as his famous brother. We're talking about Jobe Bellingham.
Yeah, that's right. You've probably heard of Jude Bellingham, but today it's all about Joby and his journey.
Exactly. We're going to dig into his Wikipedia page to uncover the story of his rise to success. So, where should we even begin with this guy?
Well, I think what's most fascinating about Job's story is how early it all began.
You're telling me. His Wikipedia page mentions that he was on the substitute bench for Birmingham City at just 15 years and 321 days old. That's insane. I mean, most kids that age are worried about homework, not professional football.
I know, right? And it gets even crazier when you realize that it was for the 2021-22 Carabao Cup. Can you imagine the pressure on a teenager in that situation?
No way. It's mind-blowing, especially considering that if he had actually played, he would have broken his brother's record as Birmingham City's youngest ever first-team player.
Oh, yeah, that's right. I remember hearing about that at the time. There was so much buzz around him even back then. Everyone was waiting to see if he'd break the record.
So, did he actually play in that match? Did he end up breaking the record?
Sadly, not in that one. But his professional debut did come pretty soon after.
Oh, really? How soon after? Fill me in.
His first appearance was in an FA Cup match against Plymouth Argyle. He came on as a substitute.
An FA Cup debut, wow. Talk about a high-pressure situation for your first professional game. It's pretty rare for young players to get their first taste of professional football in such an important match.
You're absolutely right. It shows the level of confidence the Birmingham City management had in him. To throw a 16-year-old, and he was 107 days old to be precise, into a crucial FA Cup match. That's not something you see every day.
That's insane. It really sets the stage for the kind of career he's been building, doesn't it? So what happened after that FA Cup debut? Did he stick with Birmingham?
He did, for a little while anyway. He made a handful of appearances in the English Football League, kind of cementing his spot in the team.
Gotcha. So how long did he stay with Birmingham?
Well, when he was 17, he signed a professional contract with Birmingham City.
Okay, that's huge. Signing a professional contract at 17 shows that they were serious about him, about nurturing him as a player, not just a flash in the pan kind of thing.
Exactly. It's a massive vote of confidence and set the stage for his next big move, a transfer to Sunderland AFC in 2023.
Wait, hold on. A transfer at that age, that's not super common, is it?
Not really, no. Especially not with the kind of transfer fee involved. £3 million. That's a hefty sum for a player of his age and experience level.
Wow, £3 million. That speaks volumes about his potential. And I read that even Liverpool FC was in the running to sign him.
Oh yeah, there was definitely some serious competition for his signature. Which makes you wonder what Sunderland saw in him. What were they hoping to get by bringing in Jobe? His talent was undeniable, of course. But beyond that, I think they were looking for a player with versatility, someone who could play in various midfield positions. They wanted a player who could grow with the team, adapt to different tactics, and maybe even become a core member of their squad down the line.
So Sunderland snagged him, and now he's off to the races. It seems like he's on this incredible upward trajectory. But it's not just club football, right? His Wikipedia page also mentions his involvement with the England national youth teams.
Oh, you're right. We can't forget about that part of his development. It's a whole other dimension to his story.
Absolutely. So let's dig into that a bit.
Yeah.
He rose through the ranks, starting with the under-16s and then moving up to the under-18s. And, he wasn't just there to make up the numbers. He made some significant contributions, even captaining the team in certain matches.
Yeah, that's right. Captaining a national team at any level, even at the youth level, says a lot about a player. It shows leadership, tactical awareness, and the respect of your teammates.
You've got that right. And those international appearances, that's got to be a whole other level of pressure and intensity compared to club football. So before we jump into the specifics of those matches, I'm curious, is there something more we should know about him that might be contributing to his success? Something beyond just his talent?
That's a great question. You can't ignore the Bellingham family's connection to football. It's almost like it's in their genes.
Oh, yeah, that's true. His dad, Mark Bellingham, was a pretty impressive goal scorer in non-league football. And then, of course, there's Jude, who's already making a big splash in professional football.
Exactly. It's fascinating to see how that passion for the sport has been passed down through the family.
It makes you wonder if Joby's path is influenced by his family's love of the game, or if he's determined to create his own legacy, separate from his family's history.
That's a really interesting point. It's hard to completely separate him from his family's influence, even though we're focusing on his individual journey.
It's definitely something to consider. But before we get lost in that, I think we should take a look at his career stats. Just to get a feel for where he stands.
For sure. So, according to his Wikipedia page, he made 24 appearances for Birmingham City.
Got it. And what about his time with Sunderland?
Oh, he's already racked up 65 appearances with Sunderland, which is pretty incredible when you think about how young he is.
65 appearances, wow. That shows how important he is to that Sunderland team.
It really does. And it makes you wonder, what kind of person is he off the pitch?
That's a great question. Unfortunately, his Wikipedia page is pre-focused on his career, so we don't get a lot of insight into his personal life.
Yeah, that's true. Although there is one little tidbit that I find interesting.
Oh, tell me.
It mentions that he's eligible to play for both England and Ireland.
Really? I didn't know that. So that means there must be some family connection to Ireland, right?
Seems like it.
That adds another layer to his story. It makes you wonder about his cultural background and how that might influence his choices.
Definitely. Maybe as his career continues, we'll get to know more about the man behind the footballer.
I hope so. But for now, let's shift our focus back to his international career with England. We touched upon it briefly, but I want to delve deeper into those appearances. Understand the impact he made and the challenges he faced on the international stage.
Definitely. And most importantly, let's see if we can glean any insights into his potential future with the England senior team based on his youth career.
Yeah, that's the question on everyone's mind, isn't it? Can Jobe follow in his brother's footsteps and represent England at the highest level? But let's not get ahead of ourselves. Let's start at the beginning, with his early days with the under-16 squad. Paint me a picture of those early international experiences.
All right, so rewind back to June 2021. He makes his debut with the under-16s in a friendly against Northern Ireland.
A friendly match. That sounds like a relatively low-pressure situation for a first international cap.
Well, maybe. But keep in mind, even a friendly match can be pretty nerve-wracking for a young player representing his country for the first time. They got a lot to prove.
Oh, definitely. So how did he handle that pressure? Did he rise to the occasion?
He absolutely thrived. He started the match and played a key role in a 6-0 win for England.
Whoa, a 6-0 win. That's amazing. He clearly wasn't fazed by the pressure. But what about that step up to the under-17 level? That's a whole different ballgame, right?
You're right, it definitely is. He joined the under-17 squad just a few months later for the Serenka Cup, a tournament that pitted him against tougher opponents.
A true test, then. So how did he handle the increased competition? Did he struggle?
Overall, he performed pretty well, but there was one particular moment, kind of a standout moment, that probably taught him a lot about the intensity of international football.
Ooh, this sounds juicy. Tell me, what happened?
Well, in that opening match against Romania, he had a chance to take a penalty kick.
Oh, wow, a penalty kick. That's pressure-packed for anyone, but especially for a young player in a crucial game. Did he nail it?
Sadly, no. He missed.
Oh, man, that must have been so disappointing.
It was. But it's important to remember that these are all learning experiences, right? Even the best players in the world miss penalties. The important thing is how you bounce back. And thankfully, England still managed to win that match 2-0.
Okay, so shook off that setback and kept going. Good for him. What else happened in his under-17 journey?
Well, he kept playing in the remaining group stage matches, even starting in the final against the Netherlands.
Oh, wow, the final. What happened in that match? Was it a nail-biter?
It was close, but England ended up losing 3-2.
A tough loss, no doubt.
Yeah.
But making it to the final is a huge accomplishment in itself.
Exactly. And just a few months later, he was back in action, this time for the UEFA Under-17 Championship qualifiers.
Ooh, qualifiers. So the stakes were even higher this time. These matches determined if England would even advance in the tournament.
Precisely. And Jobe played a key role in their success. He featured in all 3 of England's qualifying matches, even providing an assist in their 7-0 demolition of Armenia.
Talk about making an impact. So it seems like he was really hitting his stride at this point. But what about when he moved up to the under-18 level? Did he keep up that momentum?
You know what? We should probably save that for after the break. Let's give everyone a chance to grab a snack, and then we'll dive into the next chapter of his under-18 career.
Sounds good. We'll be right back after a short break to continue our deep dive into the world of Jobe Bellingham.
It was a pretty smooth transition, actually.
Oh, really? He just kept moving up the ranks, no roadblocks or anything?
Well, I mean, there were always challenges. Each level brought tougher competition, you know, and of course, higher expectations. But Jobe, he seemed to really thrive on that. He always rose to the occasion.
I like that, rising to the occasion. So walk me through that under-18 debut. What was that like?
His first match with the under-18s was in September 2022, part of a mini tournament in Spain. He actually started in matches against the Netherlands and Belgium. Talk about trial by fire.
Whoa, hold on. Starting against the Netherlands and Belgium. Those are some football powerhouses. The England coaches must have had some serious faith in him.
They definitely did. They saw his potential, and they weren't afraid to give him responsibility from the get-go. And you know what? It paid off. England won all 3 matches in that tournament.
Impressive.
Yeah.
So he proved he could handle that step up in competition.
Exactly. And his performances were so good that he was even given the captain's armband for a couple of matches during the under-18s tour of Croatia in March 2023.
Whoa, captain of the national team. That's a huge honor, especially at such a young age. It really shows what kind of leader he is
Yeah,
and the respect he has from his peers and coaches.
you're absolutely right. And don't forget, this is all happening while he's also playing professionally at Sunderland. Juggling both club and international duties, it's amazing.
It's mind-boggling how these young guys do it. So tell me about those matches where he captained the team. Any highlights?
Definitely. In one match against Croatia, he came on as a substitute and scored the winning goal, securing a 2-1 victory for England. Talk about clutch.
Wow. Sounds like he's got ice in his veins. He's got that knack for performing under pressure. You just can't teach that.
He really does. But there was another moment during a match against Belgium that really showcases character, even though it didn't have the best outcome.
This sounds intriguing. Tell me more.
Okay, so England was trailing 3-0, and Jobe was given the opportunity to take a penalty kick, as a chance to maybe spark a comeback, get some momentum going.
Another penalty kick.
Yeah.
So was this like a redemption chance after that miss in the Saranka Cup?
It definitely could be seen that way, a chance to show that he had learned from that experience and that he could handle the pressure this time. But sadly, a shot was saved, and Belgium ended up winning the match.
Man, that must have been tough. 2 missed penalties in important situations. That can really mess with a young player's confidence.
No doubt about it. But you know what? He didn't let it get him down. And to prove that, in the final match of the tour, against Switzerland, he scored the last goal in a 3-1 win for England.
So a mix of highs and lows during his time as captain, but overall a pretty positive experience.
Absolutely. He showed that he could handle the pressure, lead by example, and really contribute to the team's success.
Okay, so we've covered a lot, from those early days at Birmingham City to his impressive performances for the England under-18s. It's safe to say that Jobe Bellingham is a player to watch, a potential star on the rise.
Definitely a player to watch. He's got such a bright future. It's going to be exciting to see what he accomplishes.
I completely agree. But, there's one question that's been on my mind this whole time. It's kind of the elephant in the room, isn't it?
I think I know where you're going with this. The comparisons to his brother, Jude. Right?
Bingo. We've been trying to focus on Joby's individual journey, but it's hard to ignore those comparisons. They're both so talented, playing at such high levels, both representing England. I mean, it's only natural for people to wonder which one will ultimately have the more successful career.
It's like a classic sibling rivalry story, but on a massive stage. And honestly, it's way too early to tell who will end up having the better career.
I get that. It's still early days for both of them. But come on, spill the tea. You're the expert. You must have some thoughts on this.
Okay. Well, one thing that I find really interesting is that they have different strengths and playing styles. They're not just carbon copies of each other.
Oh, that's interesting. Tell me more about that.
Jude, he's known for his powerful runs, his box-to-box presence, and his ability to really control the flow of the game.
Yeah.
He's already a key player for both Borussia Dortmund and the England senior team. He's a real force to be reckoned with.
Okay, I can see that.
Yeah.
What about Job? What sets him apart from his brother?
Jobe, he seems to be more of a creative playmaker. He's got incredible vision, a wide range of passing skills, and he has a real knack for those killer passes that split defenses wide open. He's less about brute strength and more about finesse and creativity.
So different strengths, but both incredibly impactful in their own way.
Yeah.
It's fascinating to see how their individual talents have developed.
And that difference in playing style, I think that might be the key to Jobe truly forging his own path, stepping out of his brother's shadow. He doesn't have to be Jude. He can create his own legacy.
That's a great point. They don't have to be in competition. They can complement each other. They can inspire each other, push each other to be better. It's like having 2 incredibly powerful weapons in your arsenal.
Absolutely. And what's so exciting for us is that we get to watch this sibling rivalry unfold on the biggest stages in football. I mean, who knows? Maybe we'll even see them playing together for England in a World Cup final someday.
That would be absolutely incredible. But even if that doesn't happen, their individual stories are captivating in their own right. It's a testament to their talent, their dedication, and of course the influence of their family's passion for the sport.
Couldn't have said it better myself. And speaking of their family, we can't forget their dad, Mark Bellingham. I mean, his goal-scoring record in non-league football must have had a huge impact on both boys. He definitely instilled in them that love for the game and that drive to succeed.
Yeah, it's like they inherited those goal-scoring genes but expressed them in different ways. You know, Jude with his powerful runs and finishes, and Job with his creative playmaking and assists. It's such a cool dynamic to watch.
It really is. And it just goes to show that even within a family with a shared passion, individual talents can flourish in different and unexpected ways. It's all about finding your own path to success.
So as we wrap up this deep dive into Joby Bellingham's career, what's the one key takeaway you want our listeners to walk away with?
I think the most important thing to remember is that Joby Bellingham is more than just Jude Bellingham's younger brother. He's a phenomenal talent in his own right, and he's got such a promising future ahead of him. He's carving his own path, building his own legacy, and capturing the hearts of fans with his unique skills and leadership qualities.
Couldn't have said it better myself. His story's just getting started. He's only 19 years old, and look at what he's already accomplished. Just imagine what the next chapter holds.
I can't wait to see it unfold. And to our listeners out there, keep an eye on Joby Bellingham. You won't regret it. He's a player who embodies everything that makes football so exciting: the passion, the energy, the pure brilliance of the game.
Well said. It's been such a fascinating journey exploring Job's career.
It really is remarkable how much he's already done at such a young age.
It makes you wonder what drives him. Is it the desire to outshine his brother, the pressure of living up to the Bellingham name, or is there something else entirely motivating him?
That's the mystery, isn't it? We can analyze his choices, but we can only guess at his true motivations. Maybe as he matures and his career progresses, we'll get more clues.
Yeah, maybe we'll see it in his playing style and his interactions with teammates and coaches. Who knows? Or maybe he'll just tell us one day in an interview.
It'll be interesting to see how it all unfolds. That's what I love about following a young player's career. You get to watch them grow, not just as a player, but as a person.
It's like watching a story in real time. You never know what's going to happen next. But you know what? It's probably time to wrap up this deep dive for today. We've covered a lot of ground, from his early days at Birmingham City to his current success at Sunderland, and of course those impressive appearances for the England youth teams.
We've seen his talent, his determination, his ability to overcome challenges and lead his team to victory. It's been quite a ride for a player so young.
And even though he's constantly compared to his brother Jude, we can see that Joby's creating his own legacy. He's not trying to follow in anyone's footsteps. He's blazing his own trail in the world of football.
Absolutely. He's got his own unique style and a bright future ahead of him. His story is far from over.
So to all our listeners out there, I encourage you to keep watching Joby Bellingham. He represents everything that's beautiful about football: passion, energy, pure talent. And who knows, maybe one day he'll even eclipse his brother's accomplishments and become a true legend in the sport.
It's an exciting possibility. He certainly has the potential. But for now, let's just appreciate how far he's come and eagerly anticipate what the future holds for this young star.
Well said. This has been a truly insightful deep dive, and I'm sure our listeners are leaving with a much better understanding of Joby Bellingham and his remarkable journey. Until next time, keep exploring, keep learning, and never lose that passion for the beautiful game.
Yeah, it really makes you think, doesn't it? Like, what is it about that family?
I know, right? You almost wonder if there's something special in the water over there. But seriously,
Yeah.
It's amazing to see two brothers achieving so much at such a young age. It makes you wonder, what's driving Job? What's pushing him to be so great?
Yeah, that's the big question, isn't it? I mean, we can analyze his game all day long, but that inner drive, that's something we can only speculate about.
Exactly. Is it the pressure of following in his brother's footsteps? Or maybe he just has this burning desire to prove himself?
It could be a combination of things, the family legacy, personal ambition. Who knows? Maybe someday he'll give us a glimpse into what makes him tick.
Yeah, maybe. Maybe it'll come out in an interview or something.
Yeah.
Or maybe we'll just see it in the way he plays, the way he leads his team.
Exactly. And that's what makes it so exciting to watch these young players develop. It's not just about the skills on the pitch, it's about who they are as people.
It's like a journey of self-discovery, both for them and for us as fans. But you know what? I think it's time to start wrapping up this deep dive. We've covered a lot of ground today.
We have, from his early days with Birmingham City to his current form with Sunderland, and of course his impressive run with the England youth teams. It's been quite a ride.
It really has.
Hmm.
And through it all, we've seen his incredible talent, his resilience, his ability to bounce back from setbacks.
And let's not forget that leadership. He's a natural leader, even at such a young age.
Absolutely. And despite the constant comparisons to his brother, we've seen that Joby is forging his own path, creating his own unique legacy in the world of football.
Exactly. He's not living in anyone's shadow. He's making his own mark on the game.
And his story is far from over. He's only just getting started. So, to all our listeners out there, I say this. Keep your eyes on Joby Bellingham. This young man, he represents everything that's exciting and beautiful about football.
Couldn't agree more. He's got passion, energy, pure talent. And who knows, maybe he'll even surpass his brother and become a legend in his own right.
It's definitely a possibility he's got that potential. But for now, let's just sit back and enjoy the ride. We're lucky to be witnessing the rise of a future star.
Well said. This has been a truly fascinating deep dive.
I agree, and I have no doubt that our listeners are walking away with a much deeper appreciation for Joby Bellingham and his incredible journey. So until next time, keep exploring, keep learning, and most importantly, keep that passion for the beautiful game alive.